Hello everyone, we will be going through chemistry AS A level topic which is inside an atom, and this topic is covering Cambridge Edexcel, AQA and Oxford specifications. This topic is in atomic structure, and we have uploaded 3 videos including this one about atomic structure, so you will have to go through other 2 videos which are elements and atoms and numbers of nucleons, and this is the third one which is inside an atom. So let us go through this video. This first we will discuss atomic structure, what is inside an atom. If we go through atomic structure, just a graphical representation of atom will be like this one. So inside middle will be like nucleus, and these are like protons, and neutrons are inside the nucleus, and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So this is like a graphical representation for your understanding. We will be defining atoms. And atoms, how we can define is, atoms are the basic particles of the chemical element, basic particles of the chemical element, and the fundamental building blocks of matter. So whole matter is composed of atoms. An atom consists of nucleus of protons and generally neutrons. So nucleus is containing protons and neutrons surrounded by the electromagnetically bound swarm of electrons. The chemical elements are distinguished from each other by the number of protons that are in their atoms. So number of protons is very, very significant, which is identified. So we are identifying hydrogen, lithium, chlorine, oxygen on the basis of number of protons inside the nucleus. If number will be changing from, like for example 1 to 2, it will not be hydrogen, it will switch to helium. So this is what you need to keep in mind. Next thing, subatomic particles. We can go through what is subatomic particles. The constituent particles, whatever atom is constituted by these particles, which are like neutrons, protons and electrons. So neutrons, protons and electrons are basically known as subatomic particles. So the constituent particles of an atom are electrons, protons and neutrons, and these are known as subatomic particles. Next thing, we can see what is inside the atom. There's a nucleus also, so we can discuss the nucleus on this slide. Here we can go through another very nice diagram which is showing us protons, neutrons basically and electrons, and this is the nucleus. So nucleus is not, keep in mind, nucleus is not having any nuclear membrane. Like in bio, you have discussed that the nucleus of a cell is having a membrane, but this nucleus is not having any sac or membrane. It's just number of protons and neutrons located at the almost middle of the atom. So if we discuss what is a nucleus, nucleus is all the bound uh, protons and neutrons in an atom make up a tiny atomic nucleus and are collectively called nucleus. So if we, whatever this one, protons and neutrons in the middle without any membrane or something, so these are collectively known as nucleons basically, and nucleus is the central part of the atom. Then we can see the basically compactness of the nucleus. Compactness of the nucleus. The nucleus, despite being a tiny part of the atom's volume, contains almost all its mass. So electrons, is having very less negligible mass. So most of the mass of the atom is located, or you can say that the nucleus is containing most of the matter, most of the mass. This compactness leads to an incredibly dense structure. So nucleus is incredibly dense structure also. Next, we can go through properties of different subatomic particles we can go through. And if we get the detail, so particles are protons, electrons, and neutrons. And symbol for protons is this one. We are using these symbols while writing equations also. So you need to keep in mind these symbols as well. And if we see the masses of these particles, protons and neutrons are having 1 AMU, atomic mass unit, whereas electron is 5.45 into 10 to the minus 4. This is the mass of an electron. So relative masses will be relative masses. This will be 1, this will be 1, and we can write this. This is like in standard form they have provided, and this is ordinary number, which is 0.00055. And then relative charge. So electron is negatively charged, whereas proton is positively charged, and neutron, is a neutral particle, so we can say 0. So, but keep in mind, inside the neutron, there is charge, but its overall neutron is balanced. So, neutral particle will be using the word. Then location, proton is inside the nucleus, neutron is also inside the nucleus, whereas electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Then we will have to discuss the role of subatomic particles. Subatomic particles, protons, electrons, and neutrons are known as subatomic particles. So, role, if we discuss, protons determine the chemical identity of an atom. We are identifying the elements on the basis of number of protons. If you see the periodic chart, every element is having specific number of protons. If we just increase one or decrease one, so it will not be the same element, it will be different element. So we are identifying element on the basis of number of protons, and electrons are key for forming chemical bonds. So all the chemical properties of elements are basing on the number of electrons revolving around the nucleus, and that too is basically mostly basing on the valence shell electrons. In covalent bonds, electrons are shared between atoms, while in ionic bonds, electrons are transferred from one atom to another. You have already gone through ionic bonding and covalent bonding in IGCSE, and that is basically covalent bonding is sharing of electrons, and ionic bonding is transfer of electrons. Ions are formed, positive and negative ions are formed, and they are bonding together to form ionic bond. Then neutrons are electrically neutral particles. We are done with the this topic. Hopefully you understand this. As I mentioned, this is the third video on this topic, and the topic is atomic structure. You will have to go through all 3 videos comprehensively to understand this topic. So if you like the video, then recommend this channel to your class fellows and introduce this channel to your respected teachers. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.